Once upon a time, in a small town called Millfield, two best friends named Janet and Roiz were sitting in the park, enjoying the beautiful weather and the company of their friends, Smith and Lunes. As they chatted, Janet couldn't help but notice how often Roiz complained about her life. Roiz was quick to point out all the things that were going wrong, from her job to her love life to her family. Janet had always been a positive person, and she found Roiz's constant complaining to be draining. Janet: Roiz, have you ever heard of the law of attraction? Roiz: the law of what now? Janet: the law of attraction. It's a universal law that states, what you focus on expands. When you are complaining, what are you focusing on? What's right with your life or what's wrong with it? You are obviously focusing on what's wrong with it, and since what you focus on expands, you'll keep getting more of what's wrong. Roiz: I never thought of it that way. Janet: it's true. When you complain, you become a living, breathing crap magnet. Lunes chuckles: that's a colorful way to put it, Janet. Smith: but she's right. I used to complain a lot, but I realized it wasn't doing me any good. Roiz: so what do I do then? Just pretend everything's great when it's not? Janet: no, it's not about pretending. It's about focusing on the positive. Lunes: and practicing gratitude. Roiz: gratitude? For what? Lunes: for everything, big and small. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you attract more of it into your life. Smith: it's like a ripple effect. When you start focusing on the good things, it starts to spread to other areas of your life. Roiz: okay, I see what you're saying, but it's hard to stay positive when everything seems to be going wrong. Janet: I know, it's not easy, but that's why it's important to surround yourself with positive people like us. Lunes: and to take care of yourself, mentally and physically. Smith: that's right. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. Roiz, smiling: you guys are right. I'm going to start focusing on the good things in my life and practicing gratitude. As the group continued to talk, Janet couldn't help but feel grateful for her friends and their wisdom. She realized that sometimes all it takes is a little shift in perspective to change your life. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, focus on what's right. Instead of complaining, practice gratitude. And most importantly, surround yourself with positive people who lift you up. Lunes replied, I think you've both hit the nail on the head. Complaining is like a disease that spreads negativity and attracts more negativity. When we complain, we're focusing on what's wrong in our lives and not what's right. And as Janet said, it's a waste of energy. Energy that we could use to focus on solutions or things that make us happy. Simth chimed in. But sometimes it feels like we just need to vent, you know? Like, get it out of our system. Lunes nodded. I understand that. It's important to acknowledge our feelings and express them. But there's a difference between venting and complaining. Venting is about releasing emotions and finding clarity, while complaining is about dwelling on the negative. Roiz spoke up. So how do we stop complaining? It's a habit, and habits are hard to break. Lunes smiled. That's true, but the first step is awareness. We need to become aware of when we're complaining and catch ourselves in the act. Then we can try to reframe the situation and focus on the positive. For example, instead of complaining about the rain, we can be grateful for the water it provides and the beautiful plants it nourishes. Janet added, and we can also try to shift our mindset from victimhood to empowerment. Instead of feeling like everything is happening to us, we can take responsibility for our lives and find ways to make things better. Simth nodded. That makes sense. So it's like we have to train ourselves to think differently. Lunes replied, exactly. It takes practice, but it's worth it. When we focus on the positive and take responsibility for our lives, we attract more positive experiences and opportunities. Roiz smiled. I like that. It's like we have the power to shape our own lives. Lunes grinned. You got it, Roiz. And when we do that, we become legends in our own right. The four friends continued to talk and laugh, enjoying each other's company and the beautiful day. They made a pact to support each other in breaking the complaining habit and focusing on the positive. And as they walked back to their homes, they couldn't help but feel a sense of hope and empowerment. They knew that they had the power to create the lives they wanted, and that was a beautiful thing. As they parted ways, Lunes left them with one last piece of wisdom. Remember, it's not what happens to us in life that defines us. It's how we respond to it that matters. So let's choose to respond with positivity and create the lives we want. We got this. And with those words ringing in their ears, the four friends went their separate ways, feeling inspired and empowered to take on the world. Moral of the story: complaining is a habit that can drag you down, and focusing on the negative attracts more negativity. Instead, focus on the positive things in your life, practice gratitude, and surround yourself with positive people. Take responsibility for your life and find ways to make things better, and train yourself to think differently. Remember, it's not what happens to us in life that defines us, but how we respond to it that matters. The end. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos like this from this channel. Please don't hesitate to drop your comments below. We love you.